A while ago, I made a video titled The Character Decline of Gohan, and this video caused a bunch of conversation. The state of Gohan as a whole has been a hot topic of debate amongst the community, and I wanted to shed light on Gohan once again because I feel like my previous video didn't fairly discuss both sides of Gohan. If you'd like to see why many people consider Gohan to have taken a huge fall off in the series, I implore you to watch that video first. But, of course, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video, my name is OmegaPro, and I'm asking you the question, is Gohan really that bad? Whether you're a Gohan fan or not, there's no escaping the fact that for a while, he was the most interesting character. Goku and the Z Fighters had established themselves in the world already and had achieved their strength all throughout the Dragon Ball series. And then there's this little kid just flowing with potential. We see him as a manifestation of ourselves in a way. If you aren't accustomed to the world of Dragon Ball, we become accustomed to this world alongside Gohan. We learn about the world as he does. And I think that Gohan in the beginning of Z is the most integral character in the series because he provides such a natural form of exposition so that way we, the viewers, aren't left asking so many questions. What better way to introduce us to a world than a kid just freshly growing up in that world? One of the first major events that happens to Gohan is that Raditz comes and kidnaps him. Let's say that this is your first time ever watching Dragon Ball. Gohan is confused and scared, and you are too. This random dude with a tail just comes out of nowhere telling Goku that he is his brother and he is not of this world and yada yada yada, and we're just in Gohan's shoes at this point. What the hell is going on exactly? So then we fast forward and we see Raditz just manhandling Piccolo and Goku, two figures that from our point of view at this point are the strongest warriors at the moment. Gohan isn't exposed to this world so much, and neither are we. We don't know the rules or the laws of what's going on here, and Gohan is just perfectly telling the story for us. And then we see our first glimpse at Gohan's potential as he bursts forwards towards Raditz, bars, and deals a significant amount of damage. Again, Gohan is the viewer here. We're not sure what the hell is happening, we just want our heroes to be safe. So with the power that neither Gohan or the audience understands, he just turns the tides of the battle. So you're probably thinking, okay, Gohan serves as a storytelling element. Big deal. He still becomes a weakling and we don't give a damn about his past. Okay, I'll get into that in just a second. Let me talk a little bit more about Gohan though. After Raditz is dealt with, Piccolo takes Gohan and decides to train him for the impending threat of the new Saiyans. This is again very important to building the world of Dragon Ball Z. Gohan is super sheltered from what really lies out there in the world and is now being forced to thrive in it. This tells us a lot about Piccolo, Gohan, and more importantly, the setting of Dragon Ball Z. We learn about the wildlife, the rules of this world, and it's all told through Gohan struggling through his training. During this time, we grow with Gohan and we become attached. We see ourselves in him even, especially if we were kids during our first watch. We're small, overall powerless, naive, sheltered, but yet brimming with potential. And that is what made Gohan so interesting in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. So where did it go all wrong? When? Where? Why did Gohan become so weak? Why did this character with so much potential end up amounting to nothing? And I'm about to blow your minds, but he actually didn't amount to nothing. In fact, Gohan's character arc is one of the only interesting and complete arcs in Dragon Ball Z. Pause. Let me explain. One thing is true for Gohan throughout his entire life. He strived for excellence as a man and as a scholar. He worked just as hard at that than he did with fighting. Why? Gohan only ever fought when he was forced to. The thrill of fighting is one trait that he did not inherit from his father. Well, at least not 100%. I mean, we do see Gohan seem to get a kick out of fighting at least twice in the series, once during his Cell fight and once during his fight with Majin Buu. Both times ended with catastrophe. Other than these two instances, we see Gohan damn near refuse to fight. But Gohan had always strived to be a good man, and being a good man means doing what is required of you regardless of how much you may detest it. And so, Gohan fought. There were times where that was required a ton from him, and then there were also times where it wasn't. From the beginning of Z up until the end of the Cell arc, there are constant threats in the world. Our heroes never seem to catch a break. So Gohan must always be on his toes. He must stay strong because that is what is being required of him. In between training, he would study. Gohan had to balance being one of Earth's strongest hopes against Doom and being top of his class, which would secure him a future after all of this madness. He's preparing himself for a world of peace. And yes, you could say that is naive thinking for the DBZ world, but after the Cell Saga, there seemed to truly be peace for once. And with peace, Gohan could finally live a normal life. He could focus on regular teenager things like sports, women, a social life, job, school, etc. Could you imagine being a child in the real world and not being able to choose what to do with your own life because you're constantly thrust into life or death situations? To finally have peace in the world must have been one of the only times Gohan had been truly happy. We all know that this peace would not last for long due to the arrival of Majin Buu. Once again, Gohan was pulled in many different directions, but he always remained a real man. Yes, he was not as strong as he once was, but that was not going to stop him. He still wanted to help. He still fought, even though it likely meant losing his life. And so he did. He fought because the world needed him to, even with all odds against him, and that is truly admirable. Of course, his efforts would lay to the wayside as Goku and Vegeta ended up being the heroes this time around. So that leaves us with the Gohan after the Majin Buu arc. He lost a lot of fighting sense because there was just simply no fighting to be had for years after Majin Buu. So Gohan was able to focus on himself for once, becoming amazing in the fields he wanted to be amazing in the most. He succeeded with his studies and more importantly became the best man in the world to his woman Videl. And that truly completes his character arc. If we look at Gohan as a character that just wanted to study and succeed in normal life, which is exactly what he is, then we can't really be mad at his ending result, can we? Yes, I'm aware of the badass we lost to complete this arc, but wouldn't it have been really sad to see him give up on all of his hopes and dreams just to be strong? And even if he was strong in the direction that Super is taking, anyone that isn't Goku or even less likely Vegeta is irrelevant anyway, so we would have seen Gohan give up on everything he wanted just to get overshadowed regardless. We tend to identify ourselves with Gohan, which is why we can't help but feel disappointed in where his character ended up. But if we take a look at DBZ a little bit more realistically, and not just as an anime with buff dudes and blonde hair, Gohan is truly the best written character in the entire series. In a universe as unknown and scary as the one in DBZ, Gohan found true happiness. And I get it. We all want to see Gohan be badass once again. Hell, I know that I would. But his character arc is complete. And I think it's safe to say we won't see Gohan saving the day. At least not anytime soon. Anyway, what did you guys think of Gohan's complete character arc? Let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, I am OmegaPro. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.